they've been teasing a few updates over the last few weeks, right? You know, some new features and stuff. And guess what? It turns out that we seem to have gotten some updates. Those three features, three main features that that they showed us. So the first one we saw was the archaeology, big feature coming back. We also had then a second official announcement for the Sniffer. So that was the second announcement, and so that was really cool, really fun. We then also had this completely out of the blue. No one knew this was happening, but the Cherry Grove biome and the wood set and all of that as well. So those are three features that would have been coming over the week. I thought, okay, they'll release it like one by one. Let me turn around for you. There they are. They all came in this one update. Now they're not fully not fully finished. No, none of them really are fully finished, but we definitely know these aren't fully finished, and they've got a few key-ish things missing from them. Like the Sniffer, that one's definitely something we know that's not finished. Cherry Grove biome is a bit though. It might be finished, it might not be. We'll see what they decide to do with it. Archaeology, it's again, it's kind of like yeah, there's probably they do want to improve that and try and improve that and try and add more things to it. But the Sniffer is the big one that we're like hasn't got anything going on. If I basically go over the big main features, then we'll get into the proper changelog afterwards that I've conveniently written down in a book for me to listen to. So we can just turn on this music if you want. It's not working now. That's a small little change that we'll get into later, but first of all we've got the Cherry Grove biome. I don't think I can actually find one. So there's a new biome called Cherry Grove, which is in reasonable distance, apparently, so, you know, that's something that we might not be able to see on this world, but we can go into another world, it's fine. So basically there's cherry grove biomes which spawn trees all like this. It spawns in the mountains, basically where the meadows used to be. So it doesn't change anything about the world, adding this new biome. It does just kind of maybe replace a few biomes and where it used to be and where they used to be, and now it will be the cherry grove biome. So you've got this beautiful new tree, a few different designs, and these petals by here. So basically you can see you've got all these pink petals. You can see them place them like this. If you bone meal them, they grow, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Adds a little bit of white things. There's like nice little particles coming off the tree. You can see them just falling over there. Looks like they turn into the petal things. They don't actually, but that's what it appears to do. And obviously, with the new wood comes the new wood variants and all the things. So you've obviously got the new a chest bow, you've got the hanging sign, as well as all the usual features, fence, doors, gates, trapdoors, planks, you know, all that kind of jazz. So you can see it all there, looking pretty nice, and people have noticed that it kind of fills out a few more of the colours in the thing, so instead of having like dyeable wood, basically what it seems like they're going for is, or people seem to have noticed, they seem to, each new like biome seems, or each new block seems to fill out a certain colour on here. Now those two are in the back, so I'm not sure. No one actually pointed them out to be here like this. They don't fully fit there, but they might do. I don't know. We'll see, because, well, basically maybe next time we'll get a darker blue, and whenever we get a new tree type, we'll get a darker blue one and a green wood type. Maybe it might fill out more colours. So. Well, yeah, that's something cool. So I think that is definitely a better solution than to the dyeable wood that people have pointed out. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's no official announcement that's what they're doing, but that's looks like it. What they're doing, they kind of, as they add new biomes. So you got that new pink cherry wood that's over there. Is just kind of goes with that pink little the pink block. Pink wool or whatever. So next off we have the Sniffer, and all of its. So at the moment it is very primitive. There's nothing. You can see you've got the main Sniffer biome. You've actually got baby Sniffers. Summon a Sniffer that is, I don't know, age. We'll just do -1 or something. See if it maxes it out. Nope, that did not work. But that's a Sniffer, you can see it moving around, looks pretty cool, you can see it's just up there. Just nice animation's pretty cool. It's kind of got the base feature of the mob, it's got its sort of digging animation and all that, which if we go down there in a moment we can see. But what it does for you is it digs out all of the, so this block, so it gives you these seeds, these torchflower seeds. So yeah, you can then grow these seeds onto some farmland, and it'll grow into this torch flower. So we can see here we've got this torch flower. It can be placed like any other normal flower, onto dirt, onto grass, onto, you know, all that kind of stuff, and inside of flower pots as well. So that's pretty cool. It's not, it's literally just the one flower that things. And there were kind of maybe leaked images that perhaps were either early testing things, or are maybe, just maybe, more flowers that are coming, more ancient seeds or whatever that are coming into the game. We don't know. We don't even know if it's actually that, but there was an image. So at the moment, the torch flower here, it's cool, it's great, it's a nice feature, but it doesn't do anything. It's just purely decorative. Like, the Sniffer as well is also missing features such as where do you find the eggs, how do you hatch the eggs. There's nothing like a Sniffer eggs other than the spawn egg, obviously, which just even, like, you know, turtles have a spawn egg. So it is missing a few features, and it's not impossible to say they might add a few more flowers and stuff. Maybe, we don't know. So, but yeah, we've got these cool little flowers. You've got the Sniffer, which is such a cute mob. I don't know how to spawn a baby one. We can try. You know what? Let's try. Let's go into creative mode. We only have to kind of go under here. You can just see we got a baby little Sniffer. Oh, it's called a Snifflet, I'm pretty sure. Next, third and final feature. Also, these are all the main features that are coming at the end of the day. This is what is 1.20 at the end of the day. So there's no more major features, major announcements. Maybe there'll be a couple extra blocks, maybe there'll be a couple more things added to archaeology, maybe there'll be a couple more seeds added, who knows. But this is everything that is coming in 1.20. Everything major anyway, so you've got all of this stuff, which is a pretty hefty update if you think about it. So it'll be interesting actually to see, to compare against 1.19 to 1.20, considering I think it might be a relatively similar sized update. But the perception to it is so much better just because of the way they've announced it. And unfortunately, the way they've done it, I think that's going to be probably the way in the future now. As much as you want to see early artwork and all of that kind of stuff, in Minecraft Live, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, by the looks of it, just because of how well this new approach seems to be working. So, you know, that's fine. It is actually kind of really exciting to hear about all these updates on this, so I'm fine with this approach. But here, so we have a brush, which is just a string pickaxe. I can literally show you with some string and a crafting table. So yeah, next time you craft a string pickaxe or whatever people were crafting, it's actually in the game. It's called a brush. You can see we can get 2 sticks and 3 things, and we'll craft ourselves a brush. So cool, people thought. And it does look like it would have incorporated copper in it, which I think, you know, we don't want to cram too many features with copper in it, but it would have been a pretty cool use for copper, because yes, they've added one new use for copper, which is the armor trims, which look pretty cool. It's still not a great feature, and yeah, I agree, you can't just cram copper into every recipe, a new thing, right? Because I feel like, yeah, if you do that, it'll be a bit... copper might have too many uses in the future, and it just wouldn't make sense. But it would have made sense on this brush. So yeah, also feathers, is that a better crafting recipe? Maybe, who knows. It's not a big deal at the end of the day, but the main feature is that we've got this suspicious sand. Now, placed normally, it will actually... it won't have anything inside of it, but you can find these in desert pyramids, or desert temples, or whatever they're properly called. I think they're actually... the biome's called... oh no, the structure is called a desert pyramid. However, I think it's officially called a desert temple, but you also find these in desert wells as well, which you can't actually locate, but, you know, desert wells. And so we can see here, if we just, you know, left click, we can slowly mine this out, and it'll actually save the structure, it'll actually save the progress when you stop mining it, which one of the few, if not the first block that actually does that. I don't know if it glitches or purposeful behavior that seems like a glitch, but when you're reaching too high, and I've noticed that, you see I can't, oh I can, okay, when I go like that, it kind of, you can see it saves the progress, right? For some odd reason, and I'm not sure that's a glitch or if that is like a purposeful, just the, you know, little to make things flow a bit better. I'm not sure, but you know what? This is the first thing that pretty much does it on purpose, and you can see here now as we mine this, we can see we've got this prize pottery shard, and also so you can see the sand also turns into, well, the suspicious sand just turns into normal sand, and so now we've got a prize pottery shard, which we can see when crafted in a crafting table. So if I perhaps get all of these, what we can do is we can craft a pot, a decorated pot. Now you can also use bricks as well, but you know, we'll to basically craft a blank pot. So create a decorated pot with nothing special going on. You use bricks, and you can swap those bricks out in a pattern to show which ones. So you craft them in a pattern like this, and you can use whichever ones. So you could use two prize pottery shards, two bricks. You could use, you know, all prize pottery shards. You could use like one of these four here, like this. Possibilities are not quite, but I want to say endless, but they're not quite. So here you can see here we've got a decorated pot. So here we can just break it using our fist. It just breaks back. But if we wanted to get all the pottery shards back, you just break it with any tool whatsoever. Now this is probably most definitely a placeholder feature at the moment. Just because why would you break it with a diamond sword or whatever, and it turns out to be a pot? But here we got just all the different pot designs and how they look on the pot. You've also got the different pottery shards and the brush. That is basically all there is to archaeology at the base level. But it does add uses and things for new structures. Well, old structures actually, not new structures. Maybe new structures. It might have archaeology. What would be cool is if we saw it in something like the jungle temple and stuff like that. Maybe you just get like a very rare thing, like because jungle temples aren't that common, but perhaps there's a like 100% chance of getting like a rare pottery shard or whatever. That would be cool. But for the moment, if we just, I don't know, I can show this off later, but we've got all of these. They've basically added a new room, a new secret room to the desert temple. And obviously, now that everyone's found this new secret room, it's not much of a secret anymore. It's like, oh, okay, it's as much as a secret as the the chest room on the desert temple, which is still pretty cool. And perhaps it is a little bit more secret than that. It's actually covered in sand, and some of that sand is suspicious sand, which you can then get to get different things. If we use, I don't know, we come down here and we were to spawn a desert temples, and you can see here we've got a desert well, and well, if we go back to survival, we can just see that, ooh, what's this? There's there's this suspicious sand here. So basically what you can do is you can find this arms up pottery shard in here. This is the only pottery shard you can find, but you can also find stuff like emeralds, sticks, and like actually you can find suspicious stew. Not sure how much you want to drink that after being in the sand, but you can definitely do that. So that's a bit of an interesting one, but it's a bit of a funny one. Suspicious sand gives you suspicious stew, so you know what, that makes sense. Not really, but you know. What we can see here is you got pottery shard, so its arms up is the only one that you can get from a desert well, whilst you can get the other three from a desert temple. My brain, there we go, I've said something. So that's pretty cool.